Ang anghel ng Panginoon ay nagbalita kay Santa Maria.
At siya ay naglihi, lalang ng Espiritu Santo.
Aba, Ginoong Maria, napupuno ka ng grasya. Ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumasa iyo. Bukod kang pinagpala sa babaeng lahat, at pinagpala rin naman ang iyong anak na si Jesus.
Santa Maria, Ina ng Diyos, ipanalangin mo kaming makasalanan, ngayon at kung kami mamamatay. Amen.
Darito ang alipin ng Panginoon.
Maganap nawa sa akin, ayon sa wika mo.
Aba, Ginoong Maria, napupuno ka ng grasya. Ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumasa iyo. Bukod kang pinagpala sa babaeng lahat, at pinagpala rin naman ang iyong anak na si Jesus.
Santa Maria, Ina ng Diyos, ipanalangin mo kaming makasalanan, ngayon at kung kami mamamatay. Amen.
At ang Verbo ay nagkatawang tao.
At nakipamayan sa atin.
Aba, Ginoong Maria, napupuno ka ng grasya. Ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumasa iyo. Bukod kang pinagpala sa babaeng lahat, at pinagpala rin naman ang iyong anak na si Jesus.
Santa Maria, Ina ng Diyos, ipanalangin mo kaming makasalanan, ngayon at kung kami mamamatay. Amen.
Ipanalangin mo kami, o Santang Ina ng Diyos,
nang kami maging dapat na makinabang sa mga pangako ni Jesucristong Panginoon.
Manalangin tayo. Panginoon aming Diyos, kasihan mo nawa ang aming mga kaluluwa ng iyong mahal na grasya, at yayamang dahilan sa pamamagitan ng anghel ay nakilala namin ang pagkakatawang tao ni Jesucristong anak mo, pakundangan sa mahal niyang pagpapakasakit at pagkamatay sa krus, ay papakinabangin mo kami sa kanyang pagkabuhay na maguli sa kaluwalhatian sa langit, alang-alang kay Jesucristo ring Panginoon namin. Amen. Luwalhati sa Ama, at sa Anak, at sa Espiritu Santo.
Kapara noong sa unang-una, ngayon at kailanman, at magpasawalang hanggan.
Amen.
Amen.
All of the tech, anime, gaming, and pop culture, we got you. Hello everyone, my name is Cairo, and don't forget to catch Asper's Cafe every weekdays. And you're listening to Teacher and Cool FM. This is your station. This is home.
Mula sa TVH Group of Networks, ito ang inyong himpilan. Ito ang inyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is koolNews at 6, where we bring you the latest news headlines that you need to know right here. From the station that cares for you, I am Cairo, and now let's get into the top stories. A China Coast Guard ship was spotted pretty close off Manila Bay on Friday, apparently moving to intercept a Philippine Coast Guard vessel en route to the general area of Panatac or Scarborough Shoal days after the collision there, according to OS Philippine Sea Monitor. Ray Powell, founder of maritime tracker Sea Light, told the Inquirer that CCG 3306 was sitting just outside the 24 nautical mile contiguous zone and not within the country's archipelagic waters to tail BRP Cape San Agustin. Powell, program head of Stanford University's Gordian Knot Center for National Security Innovation, said on X, China Coast Guard waits just outside Manila Bay for it, or BRP Cape San Agustin, to emerge. China seems determined to intercept and escort any Philippine ship moving in Scarborough Shoal's general direction, he also said. Powell noted that it was not the first time a CCG ship had come that close to Manila Bay. It's as close as they get, but I have seen them get that close before, he said. He added that CCG also tailed the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources BRP Datu Matanam Dapit when it passed through near Panatak Shoal to make sure it goes home and doesn't decide to visit again. The Datu Matanam Daratapit went to Lawak and Pantak Islands in the West Philippine Sea and was en route back to Seoul Fish Port in Bagkasihan, said Powell. Experts term Beijing's approach to Panatak Shoal as an exclusion zone enforcement, flooding the 2016 arbitral ruling that declared the area a traditional fishing ground for the Philippines, China, and Vietnam. In what Powell called a surprising and unusual development, China also deployed the research ship Siang Yang Hong 10 1-kilometer south of the shoal on Friday. The research ship is capable of deep-sea surveying, research exploration, and deploying autonomous underwater vehicles. On Tuesday, Chinese ships conducted a parallel sweep of the shoal, a pattern indicative of a search and rescue operation. However, Powell said the activity is unlikely to be SAR. I honestly don't know why it's there, he said. Such developments came after the collision of Chinese vessels off Panatak Shoal in their bid to frustrate the government's Kadiwa outreach program for local fisherfolk on Monday. The CCG 3104 chased BRP Sulan and performed a risky maneuver on the BCG ship, leading to a collision with the People's Liberation Army Navy warship with hull number 164. Both ships sustained damage, with CCG-3104's forecast of being badly crushed, while BRP Sulan managed to evade the maneuver, according to BCG. During Monday's collation, the Philippine Navy reported 8 CCG vessels and 14 Chinese maritime military vessels there, according to the official data shared on Thursday. Powell said he recorded the presence of 8 CCG vessels and 40 military vessels there since August 5. But as of Friday, Powell noted a sharp decline, with only 3 CCG ships and 8 military vessels remaining. He said that most have returned to China, while 2 of the military ships headed toward the Spratly Islands. This suggests Beijing had intelligence that the Philippines was planning Monday's Kadiwa operation and augmented its force in anticipation, he pointed out. Next year, between July and September, and in 2028, between April and June, 3 railway projects, which are expected to serve thousands of passengers a day, would have been completed if China did not back out of its commitment to finance the projects. It was in 2017 when China promised out $7.34 billion of loan to the Philippines for the implementation of then President Rodrigo Duterte's Build program, which covered infrastructure projects such as the South Long-Haul Railway, Subic-Clark Railway, and the Mindanao Railway Phase 1. Based on data from the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, the 639-kilometer South Long-Haul Railway that would link Metro Manila with Manok, Sorsogon, is worth 175 billion pesos and is expected to serve 100,000 passengers a day. The 71.13-kilometer Subic-Clark Railway, which would provide cargo service between Subic Bay Freeport Zone and Clark Freeport and Special Economic Zone, is worth 15.03 billion pesos, while the Dagcom Davao Digos Mindanao Railway that would serve 122,000 passengers a day is worth 81.7 billion pesos. Back in 2019, China even reiterated its commitment to finance the projects, especially the Mindanao Railway, which would have been one of the infrastructure's legacies of Duterte, who consistently appeased China on the basis of the supposed investments and loans that the Philippines receives. As stated by the DODR in its website, before the 2026 and 2028 deadlines, the projects were even said to be completed by 2025 for the South Long-Haul Railway and 2023 for both the Subic-Clark Railway and the Mindanao Railway Phase 1. So if only China kept its promise to provide loans for the construction, these projects would have been working by now, serving thousands of people who are relying on the existing 76.9-kilometer railway system, which is not even 10% of the 1,200-kilometer government target. But China backed out. You're still with us right here on koolNews at 6. Maya, in the 7th anniversary, said it would disable access to gaming sites and apps through its games feature at the same time in compliance with the PSP order after following suit with GCash. Customers may withdraw remaining funds from linked gaming accounts back to their My Wallet via the game's feature before the deadline. After that, withdrawals may be done only through the gaming provider's website or app. Maya said, "We will always safeguard our customers and ensure uninterrupted availability of all our financial services." Maya will continue working closely with regulators and industry partners to uphold the highest standards of consumer protection and full compliance with all regulations. BSP Deputy Governor Mamerto Tanggonang told the Senate Committee on Games and Amusement earlier Thursday that e-wallet platforms were specifically ordered to remove in-app features promoting or allowing users to access e-gambling sites within 48 hours. Later on, koolNews at 6, explain failed rehab of Bulacan River project. That's what Marcos said to contractor. And 57,134 informal settler families relocated from Manila Bay, according to the ILG. Don't go anywhere. koolNews at 6 will be right back as we will be bringing you more latest news headlines after these messages.
Malayang mapapakinggan, malayang mapapanood, ngayong August 15 na.
Want intense anghang na fresh breath? Choose Close-Up Red Hot for intense freshness. Or suave at cool na fresh breath? Choose Close-Up Green Menthol for cool freshness. Mapa-intense fresh or cool fresh man ang hanap mo? Choose fresh. Choose Close-Up with regular use.
I'm moving closer to you.
Choose Close-Up.
Bakit tiwala ako sa Biogesic for Kids? Paano yung nakasanayan naming alaga ng Biogesic? Andito rin yun ha, sa Biogesic for Kids. Tsaka yung melon flavor, naku, favorite yan ng anak ko. Sarap na sarap kaya siya. Kaya never na akong nahirapang magpainom ng gamot sa kanya. Ganyan naman kasi dapat yung gamot sa bata. Yung masarap, yung magugustuhan niya, di ba? Basta ako, sa lagnat ng anak ko, pinagkakatiwalaan ko lang, Biogesic for Kids.
Alagang Unilab yan.
Paracetamol is the generic name of Biogesic. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Friend, ang rupok mo.
Ikaw, di marupok?
Marupok? Bakit ba ang rupok natin?
Paano? 97% ng Pinoy kulang sa calcium. Pag kulang sa calcium, pwedeng rumupok ang buto.
Di mag-calciumate na tayo. May Bone and Flexi Boosters. Tulong para strong ang bones and joints. With proper diet and exercise.
Most prescribed brand pa ng mga doktor.
Hi!
Uy, ex mo yun, di ba?
Ano ako? Marupok?
Di na. Sa tulong ng Calciumade, made for a stronger you. Versus non-use with proper diet and exercise.
Alagang Unilab yan.
Minerals plus cholecalciferol vitamin D3 is the generic name of Calciumade. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Sa panahon ngayon, kau ba'y sigurado? Kau ba'y protektado? Ang pamilya ay i-shield mo. Laban sa bakterya, i-shield mo. Laban ng pating virus, i-shield mo.
Shield Bath Soap. Patay ang 99.9% of bacteria and virus tested. Believe ang mga eksperto sa Philippine Nurses Association.
Sa sakit protektado, i-shield mo. Pamilya protektado, i-shield mo.
Shield Bath Soap, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Yeah, Primo, breakfast.
Big day today, Dad.
Then you need a Bigatian sandwich. Ladies' Choice Ham Spread, made with real ham and farm-fresh eggs. Meaty busog?
Sarap!
Ready na?
Busog pa!
Starts at 12 pesos SRP.
Heads up, karaoke fans! We just dropped volume 174. Packed with monthly hottest new songs you've been waiting for. Whether you're a karaoke pro or just love to sing your heart out at home, we've got you covered. Available now on DVD, SD card, and fast, easy online updates for Utopia and Utopia Plus. No lags, no limits, just pure karaoke fun. Anytime, anywhere. Bring your karaoke nights to life. Only with Shanitron Synth Plus. Reimagine karaoke with XTSP.
Song lists are now available at shanetronsinplus.blogspot.com.
Is it credit card? card earn you free miles on everyday expenses? Does your credit card allow you to fly for free to international destinations? Does your credit card have all the aforementioned, but with a waive annual fee for the first 3 years? You wouldn't have to worry while answering those questions anymore. Introducing the CFV Filipino Jet Cross World Credit Card, the only card in the Philippines that not only earns you miles the fastest way for only 45 pesos per mile, but has also no annual fee for the first 3 years. Earning free flights had never been easier. Apply now at your nearest CFV branch or apply online via the CFV online banking app. Only from CFV. Express the freedom of banking. CFV is regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. CFV is a proud member of Crosslink. CFV. Express the freedom of banking. A member of Crosslink and supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Ang kanlungan noon ni Tandang Sora para sa libu-libong katipunero ay isang ganap na lugar ng mga bayani ng ating buhay. Kasama mo ang himlayang Pilipino, laging handa baunin ang alaala ng iyong mga mahal sa buhay. Ang himlayang Pilipino ay naghahatid ng mga affordable na libingan hanggang sa mas magagarang mga mausoleo para sa mga pribadong pagdidilay. Bukas din ang tahanan ng alaala para sa iyong pangangailangang pagpupugay mula sa chapel rentals hanggang sa cremation. Para sa mga karagdagang impormasyon, maaari kayong tumawag o mag-text sa 0968-896-4850. Pumunta sa himlayangpilipino.org o sa aming Facebook, Himlayang Pilipino Incorporated, at Instagram, HPI Memorial Park.
Dream Car Karaoke po. Tuwing paggising mo sa umaga, kailangan mo ng kapeng gigisingin ka sa tapang at sarap. Kaya lumipat na ako sa bagong kape ng bayan.
Tikman ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Kapinoy Coffee. Gawa sa purong Arabica at Robusta mula sa pinakamainit na puso ng Pilipinas. Piniling mabuti at inihanda ng may pagmamalasakit.
Tama-tama lang ang tapang at sarap. O mga Kapinoy, subukan nyo ng tikman ang lasa ng bayan.
Tikman na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Kapinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Kapinoy Coffee.
Kapinoy Coffee, masarap na coffee. If it's coffee, it's Kapinoy Coffee.
Also available, Kapinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Creme. Bili na sa inyong mga suking tindahan.
Mga Kapinoy, tikman nyo na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Kapinoy Coffee. Tamang-tama lang tapang at sarap ng kape na tiyak na magigising ka. Kaya subukan na ang bagong Kapinoy Coffee. Also available, Kapinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Cream mula sa FBS Manufacturing Corporation.
Madalas nangangasim ang tiyan? Maaring acid yan. Pag may acid, Suprasid. Tandaan ang United Home Suprasid.
Unilab yan.
Sodium bicarbonate is the generic name of United Home Suprasid. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
You're still with us right here on koolNews at 6. It's now 6:19 p.m. as we continue to bring you the latest news updates that care for you. Let's continue. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. demanded an explanation from St. Timothy Construction Corporation over the alleged failure to rehabilitate of a river protection structure in Barangay Busulan, Bulacan. Marcos, along with Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon and Bulacan Governor Daniel Fernando, inspected the site on Friday and found the structure was incomplete, contrary to what official records indicated. The president said in Filipino during a brief media interview, more than 200 meters of revetment were not built. It wasn't put in place, then it was damaged, destroyed. Nothing was really installed, but if you look at our report, it says this should have already been completed. This dike is actually full of holes. It should be intact because our report says it's completed, he added. Marcos also expressed dismay that parts of Barangay Bulsalay remain flooded from rain brought by the Southwest monsoon 3 weeks ago, describing the area as a swamp. St. Timothy is a contractor here, so we will look into this. We need to hold them accountable and ask why they did it this way, he said in Filipino. It would be better if they came here themselves to see the hardship they have caused our fellow citizens, he continued. Marcos then urged residents living near the river to report any abnormalities in the structure through the Sumbong Sampangulo website. On Monday, the same day, Marcos disclosed initial findings of the government's assessment of flood control projects under his administration. Pasig City Mayor Victor Soto said 2 of the top 50 contractor firms that won a large share of these projects are linked to the businesses of his former political rival, Sara Diskaya. One of these companies is St. Timothy Construction Corporation. Inquirer.net has sought comment from Pacifico Curly Diskaya II, the husband of Sara Diskaya, but had not received a response as of Friday. A total of 57,134 informal settler families were relocated from high-risk areas in the Manila Bay watershed to government housing, according to the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG. The relocation effort is part of the Manila Bay Cleanup, Rehabilitation, and Preservation Program, a bid by the national government to reduce hazards during flooding, the DILG said in a statement Friday. The department did not expound on where the ISFs came from and where they were relocated. The 57,134 ISFs were moved were only 23.93% of the 238,747 ISFs that the agency aims to relocate, the DILG explained. It further said 61 local government units completed socialized housing projects, while 52 still had their projects under construction and 90 were still in the proposal phase. Moreover, the DILG said 182 LGUs have established local housing boards, 133 have approved local shelter plans, and 46 have prepared resettlement and relocation action plans. The DILG called on LGUs to accelerate resettlement programs across the Manila Bay watershed and ensure that these are sustainable and people-centered. The Land Transportation Office has ordered a 90-day preventive suspension on the license of a driver who recently went viral for letting a child on his lap control the steering wheel while driving. In a Facebook post on Friday, the Department of Transportation shared the viral clip showing the driver apparently teaching the child who was sit on his lap how to drive. The original uploader of the video captioned it, "Baby driver," referring to the child. The incident took place at a parking lot of a mall in Paranaque City on Tuesday, August 12, according to a show cause order issued by the LTO. According to Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon, it is strictly prohibited for a child to drive without a student permit, especially if they are very young. Dizon emphasized in Filipino, "You cannot let your young child drive without a student permit, especially if they are still very, very young. The President's reminder is to simply follow the law because you might not just face a license suspension. You could also end up in jail," he added. Based on the LTO's show cause order, the driver was directed to appear before its Intelligence and Investigation Division in Quezon City on Wednesday, August 20. The driver was ordered to submit a written explanation on why you should not be administrative charged for the violation of reckless driving, Section 48 of Republic Act 4136, and children in rear seats, Section 5 of Republic Act 11229. The LTO also required the driver to explain why his driver's license should not be revoked or suspended for being an improper person to operate a motor vehicle, Section 27A of Republic Act 4136. The driver was instructed to surrender his license on the day of the scheduled hearing, the LTO added. Aside from the license suspension, the vehicle involved in the incident was placed under alarm. This is koolNews at 6. You're still with us as we will now head over to the international headlines. Israel's far-right finance minister said Thursday that a continuous new settlement construction in the Israeli-occupied West Bank is going ahead, a project that Palestinians and rights groups worry will stall plans for a Palestinian state by effectively cutting the territory into two parts. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich boasted that the construction, which is expected to get final approval later this month, could start Palestinian statehood plans. His announcement came as many countries, including Australia, Britain, France, and Canada, say they will recognize a Palestinian state in September at the United Nations General Assembly. The construction on a tract of land east of Jerusalem named E1 has been under construction for more than 2 decades and is especially controversial because it is one of the last geographic links between the major West Bank cities of Ramallah and Bethlehem. The two cities are 22 kilometers or 14 miles apart by air, but once the E1 settlement project is completed, it will destroy the possibility of a direct route and will force Palestinians traveling between cities to continue taking a wide detour several kilometers or miles out of the way, passing through multiple checkpoints, a process that adds hours to the journey. This reality finally buries the idea of a Palestinian state because there is nothing to recognize and no one to recognize, Smotrich said during a ceremony on Thursday. Anyone in the world who tries today to recognize a Palestinian state will receive an answer from us on the ground. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did not publicly comment on the plan on Thursday, but he has touted it in the past. Development in E1 was long frozen, largely due to U.S. pressure during previous administrations. On Thursday, Smotrich praised President Donald Trump and U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee as true friends of Israel as we have never had before. The E1 plan is expected to receive final approval on August 20, capping off 20 years of bureaucratic wrangling. The Planning Committee on August 6 rejected all of the petitions to stop the construction filed by rights groups and activists, according to Peace Now, which tracks settlement expansion in the West Bank and filed opposition. While some bureaucratic steps remain, if the process moves quickly, infrastructure work could begin in the next few months and construction of homes could start in around a year. 2 minutes before 6:30, as we are running out of time, we will now head over to a quick showbiz news. Mutang ng Pilipinas will hold its 2025 competition in November, the national pageant's president, Quirino, announced at a recent event. All important activities are spread out in a 2-week-long calendar. The list of events was presented at the Sponsors Night held in Makati City on Thursday evening, August 14. The general and final screening of applicants will be on November 3rd and will be followed by the press presentation of official candidates on November 7th. Both events will take place at the CWC Design Center. This year, Davao City will be the pageant's travel destination and the candidates will be there from November 9 to 14. They are also expected to engage with sponsors from November 5 to 14. A gala charity night is also scheduled for this year's edition of the national pageant and it will happen on November 8. And finally, the new queens will be proclaimed at the coronation night that will be held at the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in San Juan City on November 17. Ladies and gents, it is now 1 minute before 6:30 and that is all for koolNews at 6. We will return with more news headlines where we will be recapping the news headlines before wrapping up your day later, the next day at midnight. You can also send us your comments and suggestions to our email at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. This has been koolNews at 6. Coming up next, it's the Star Show Express with John Mel. I am Cairo. We will see you later. Good evening.